like to start out by asking, when you were trying to make a choice about fellowship, you had a lot of opportunities. What helped you decide to stay here?
Yeah, so my name is David. I'm originally from Houston. I did residency at Stanford, and I was having kind of a challenging choice, decide kind of where to go for fellowship. I think big draws for me to stay at Stanford has been an incredibly supportive mentorship team, including kind of Ewan Ashley, Paul Heidenreich, David Liang, and a variety of other mentors in and out of the Echo Lab, as well as the opportunity to do research across a broader campus. I would say that Stanford's unique in many ways in the sense that kind of I'm able to walk across the street to go to the School of Engineering, to go to a variety of other opportunities, both within the School of Medicine through kind of the Department of Radiology and as well as kind of to kind of the broader university in computer science and other places.
Tell us about your research project, and you had a high-profile publication come out not too long ago. What you found, why Stanford was a good place to do that work, and what you hope to do in the future.
Obviously, there's a lot of interest in machine learning and artificial intelligence at this time. Over the research year, I actually spent my year actually being primarily housed in the Packard Electrical Engineering building under the joint mentorship of Ewan Ashley as well as James Zhao in biomedical data science. We were fortunate to publish a paper in Nature for which I was the first author, in which we actually looked at using AI techniques to evaluate echocardiograms. Specifically, can we use segmentation tasks and regression tasks to both calculate ejection fraction as well as look at the left ventricle and do some of the more tedious human tasks in an automated fashion. Stanford's particularly great at this with a tremendously great computer science and biomedical data science department, as well as the opportunity to kind of collaborate across departments that I think that in some other institutions it might have a little bit more friction, but here is incredibly seamless.
Tell me a little bit about what your vision is for artificial intelligence in medicine.
In many ways, what's holding precision medicine back is that human interpretation has a lot of variation, right? Great experts can both see things that other people can't see, but also can disagree with one another. I think as with most forms of automation, there's an opportunity to set kind of more stringent, consistent standards, which kind of, for example, the ejection fraction is something we measure day in, day out, but experts might disagree. If we're able to automate some of these things, we can have more of a precise approach for disease screening in terms of cardio-oncology, as well as device and kind of medical therapy in terms of treatment of heart failure. I think that artificial intelligence is an opportunity to kind of really take some of the best things of computer science to apply it to how we can actually improve and innovate on how we take care of patients.
I love that answer. And, this is a very entrepreneurial project. We pride ourselves on being innovators and entrepreneurs at Stanford. Talk to us a little bit about, that environment that you saw here.
Yeah, so I think as you were mentioning, Stanford has a variety of systems and kind of programs in place, including kind of BioX, StartX, and a variety of other incubators that's either on campus or near campus. Stanford also has a tremendously, I would say, experienced tech transfer office. So I think that they've helped us actually, as part of the Nature paper, patent the work that we're doing, as well as kind of identify opportunities to find kind of seed funding and do work that can extend in addition to research, but in terms of implementation and kind of actual practice into industry.
You have a good story about, your paper being published in Nature and what you had to do that night for a call. But also, touch on your role in the inherited disease clinic with you and Ashley and what your overall clinical experience was here.
Yes, I would say that I think the Stanford experience for clinical training is fantastic. There's an opportunity to do a lot of procedures, clinical experiences and seeing patients with rare diseases and many things that I think are really captured in a kind of a tertiary care center, particularly like Stanford. I would say that one thing I want to highlight is that our Echo Lab experience is fantastic in that there's protected time for first-year fellows to do scanning as part of their training. I think that there are many other kind of cardiology fellowships in which kind of the expectation isn't to scan, but only to interpret kind of echoes. But I think that there's so much value in kind of working with expert sonographers who teach you how to scan adult congenital as well as complex cardiovascular disease, as well as kind of do a lot of the kind of interpretation with experts in echo. I have clinic with you and Ashley in the Stanford Center for Inherited Cardiovascular Disease, in which that we are able to see some incredibly rare phenotypes in a very choreographed and I would say very structured way. So things like ARVC, HCM, and a variety of other kind of familial or genetic diseases are something that we're kind of quite strong at Stanford.
You also spend quite a bit of time at the Palo Alto VA hospital system. What was that experience like, and how did that enrich your training?
Yeah, the Palo Alto VA has also, I think, brings kind of balance to some of the experiences. In addition to very tertiary or kind of rare diseases that we can see at specialty clinics at Stanford, we see a variety of veterans, as the Palo Alto VA is almost a flagship VA for the VA system, and that we do kind of cardiology consult, kind of we manage kind of patients in the MSICU, which is kind of, there's not a strict CCU, but we manage all the cardiac issues in kind of a critical care setting, as well as we have opportunities to do kind of a variety of kind of imaging, such as kind of nuclear, as well as kind of CT at the VA.
Now, you're the latest in a long line of cardiology fellows that's flying the coop. You've got a great tenure track job born out of your tremendous research and clinical production. Tell us a little bit about where you're going to be going, what you're going to be doing, and how you really think Stanford prepared you for that job search.
Yeah. So next year I'll be an assistant professor at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in LA. I'll be working 75% research, 25% clinical time, with the research focused on a lot of the stuff that I've built out over the last couple of years here at Stanford. Primarily, it's focused on kind of artificial intelligence related to cardiovascular imaging, specifically echo, but also generalizing to MR as well as CT. And I think that the experience at Stanford, particularly being able to get a lot of hands-on technical training through computer science, is something that I think allowed me to stand out in the job search. Obviously, this year, COVID's been a big issue. A lot of places had to scale back a lot of their faculty searches, and I think that the opportunity to have a Nature paper, the opportunity to have a strong clinical training, and the opportunity to have a relatively unique skill set in being able to kind of do programming and be able to actually implement a lot of the kind of machine learning techniques allowed me to actually have a variety of opportunities that I think really kind of set me up for the future.
The preceding program is copyrighted by the Board of Trustees of the Leland Stanford Junior University. Please visit us at med.stanford.edu.